Hi, I'm Alex Archbold, and I've been buying and selling antiques since I was 9 years old. From basements to scrapyards, I'll look just about anywhere I can to find lost antiques and collectibles. And sometimes I'll go big and buy everything. With my wife and kids, we run an antique shop in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, filled with some of the most unique items we can find. I never know what's going to happen or who I'm going to meet. This is our life, this is our adventure, and this is Curiosity Inc.
From home, honey.
Hi everyone, and welcome to today's episode. Well, I'm here by myself and it's after hours. The reason why I'm here right now is because the painters were here all day, and I wanted to get some images of the inside of the house before it got totally painted. But they've built this sort of funky room divider out of all the doors because they are starting to paint them white. And you can see it's awfully nice that there is no fancy flooring because they can just work and get paint on the floor. It doesn't really matter. But the painting process has begun. Let me show you. The team has been in here getting all the windows taped off carefully. They've been getting the first coat of paint down on all the trim, which is just white. And I'm so happy because the pink that I accidentally picked out is getting painted over with agreeable gray. And let's hope that it's agreeable. I think it will be. Everybody says that if they have it in their house, it looks really good. And I think it's timeless and will be classy. And it is on the warmer end of things. But look at what's happening in here. Door jambs are getting painted. We've got the trim getting painted. We've got the wall of doors from all over the house here getting the white paint treatment. And the painters did tell me that what the plan is, you can see the mantle has been painted too. All the things are getting painted. They said the plan is they want to get a first coat down and then really have a good look at it in the light and make sure there's no imperfections. And before they do any other coats, they're gonna make sure that if there's any little nicks or adjustments that need to be made, that they'll get that done. So for me, this is awfully nice to see the house getting its first coat of agreeable gray. And when I see the house next, I have a feeling it's gonna look very different because all of this will be on our walls. Well, not the donuts. I don't want those all over our walls. But I do want the paint that the donut's sitting on top of to be on the walls. And that makes me super excited. But this is a process that I can't be in here to show you guys the work taking place because I would potentially get paint all over myself or leave boot prints on the ceiling. I don't know why they'd be on the ceiling. Maybe I'm listening to Lionel Richie and I'm dancing on the ceiling. But anyway, you gotta be safe around painters and I don't wanna get in their way. So that's why I came here after hours to show you guys the progress. But I will return again very, very soon and see just how much of these walls they were able to get fully painted. I don't know what they've done upstairs yet, but we'll have a look and see. Meanwhile, upstairs, the doors are getting primed for the office. Same with all the trim, getting primed and looking good. So I will return again in a day or so and come and see how much they were able to get painted. I know that the doors and trim is their focus right now, and then they'll start cutting in all the edging for the main floor and second floor soon. We'll start to see that gray color work its way upstairs. But they have, I think 3 weeks allotted for all this. There's still a long way to go. So that's it for now. I'll return again and check on the progress. In the meantime, I'll leave I presume that my contractors are druids because they've assembled a Stonehenge of doors in Abigail's room. I guess that's a good way to get them painted, but she's got, Abigail has door henge happening in here. So I'll check back again soon and we'll do an update before you know it. Well, it's been a day or so since I've been out at the house, and I was called back to come out to the site and meet with Drupad this morning. And the fellow who's doing the railings for inside the house. We came out the other day, Melissa and I, to look at some stain samples, and well, they were very far from what we were hoping for. So we're trying to meet this morning and get the coloring just right, because I believe today is the day that he's gonna come in here and start getting things all ready. Hello? Okay, I don't think anybody's here just yet, which is good. Because it'll give me an opportunity to show you what I'm talking about. The finish on our railings is going to be stained along the top and with the end posts. And then the spindles in the middle are going to be painted white, sort of very traditional sort of finish. Now, this is the sample that they did for us. Now, as you can see, it kind of looks gray, a little blotchy. We were expecting something like that, a much darker finish. And what I was told is that to get this finish, they had to use a different type of stain. And anyway, that wasn't what we were hoping for. We were really looking for a nice darker finish. So he's gonna come today. Apparently he's tried some different stain on some different pieces. The trouble has been that the maple it's very hard. It's a good, solid wood, very good wood. We're using maple. The problem is with maple, it doesn't absorb stain very well, so you have to use a different type of stain that's more like a paint almost that goes on there. It soaks in, but it just is a little bit thicker to get that really dark, rich sort of finish, which is what we want there, that sort of look. Anyway, they should be here any minute. But because we've been waiting for this to happen, Drupad had sent the painters away. So this progress that was happening here kind of was halted. And the reason is that he didn't want to have the painters on site painting and stuff if the guy's staining and I guess splashing or whatever. He didn't want stain to get on the walls or trim while they're trying to paint. And also you can't be going up and down the steps when he's working here. So we've lost a couple days of productivity in a sense, but hopefully we'll get this resolved today and the guys can get back to work very quickly. And with that, I think I hear them pulling up right now. Yep. Don't know who that, maybe that's the wood stain guy. I'm gonna go find out.
Really.
So we have Ian with us today. Welcome, Ian.
Hello.
And Ian, you were telling me a minute ago, you used to have your own TV show, Refinishing Furniture.
Oh, I did, yeah. For Your Furniture, it was called in St. John, New Brunswick. I did that for years, just doing custom antiques and I used to hand polish and make my own stains and make my own finishes and all that.
So we've got the right guy for the job.
Well, I think so.
And if there's people watching from the New Brunswick area,
yeah,
hello to back home.
Yeah, exactly.
So you were kind of walking me through some of the steps. Now, we were talking about how this stain basically just reacted differently with that type of wood. And what was the water popping you were talking about?
So with maple, a lot of times maple's such a hard, close-knit grain wood, it doesn't take the stains very well.
Right.
So one little trick you can do is what they call water popping. So I'll wet all the wood just very lightly, let it dry for probably an hour to 2 hours depending. And then when you go over it with the stain, you'll see quite a difference.
And that just opens the grain up and allows the stain to penetrate more deeply?
Because it's what's called as a penetrating stain.
Okay, so you have a sample to show us what the difference is between one that's water popped and one's not.
This is a prime example. That's the exact same stain.
So this is the same stain, and this is just going on as a hardwood, and this is after you've kind of wet it and let it dry a little bit. So you can see how much more stain has gotten in there. It's a lot darker.
Yeah, no difference except for exactly that, just water pop they call it. And the other thing is, if you look, for me anyway, I find the evenness of the stain looks so much cleaner. It's a nice even color all the way around.
Right.
Where this one you seem to have a little. It's a little
blotchy.
Yeah, it's a little blotchier.
My wife said it kind of looked like somebody took Crayola and went over it a little bit because you have all those little blotchy marks and stuff. But
absolutely.
Out of what you brought in, now this is our flooring sample.
Yes.
And you said, hey, heck, it would have been nice to have that before so we knew what we were matching up to. You did a custom match right there.
Yes.
So this is kind of what we picked, which is pretty close.
Yeah.
And then you took this stain and you added a little bit of orange to it?
Yeah, it's just a pigment. It's like a gel pigment so at the store where I bought the stain, I make them give me some gel pigment as well. I have about 10 varieties and I can just adjust a little bit. That took very little orange to make it
just a little warmer.
It picked up these colors of the flooring a little bit better. And it's hard too, you're matching maple to oak.
Yeah, that's going to be difficult. But essentially, if you could make something like that work, and then we're doing these end posts in the same, I think what we're doing, that, are we doing the base stained? I can't recall, or is
We're doing the handrail.
Yeah.
and the shoe, they call this, and
Yeah.
the side here. This is actually going to be white, and all the spindles are going to be white. So I'll have to get everything stained to this color and completely finished. And then I tape every single one of these rails off, cover up what I did, and then I have to paint everything else white.
But should we do these in white, you think, or would it be better in dark?
Well, actually, it's too late for that, to be honest with you, because if you look, this is actually two different woods. This is solid maple.
Right.
And this is, if I'm guessing, it's a wood called poplar.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So these are poplar, a less expensive hardwood, and it takes the paint very well. So
Okay.
prime 2 times, paint 2 times on these, same with the newel post.
Right.
And this today I'll water pop everything and then stain it to match.
Okay. Well, I do like the color that you've custom made. I think that's a pretty good match right there.
Yeah,
So if you can, if you could, just whip up a batch of your custom brew there,
Nothing to it.
I think that would look fantastic.
Yeah. Kind of move on if you want.
So we're doing a little sample here to see, because I wanted to get the newel post, basically everything stained except for the spindles. So we're not sure how this other type of wood is going to react to, compared to the maple. So we're doing a sample, a side-by-side comparison here.
So this is most likely poplar, unless I'm wrong, and I've been doing this almost 40 years, so I should have some idea. And this is obviously maple. So you're gonna see a little, it's not quite right because I haven't water popped this like we spoke of earlier, but
Right.
just to give you an idea,
Sure.
this stain, this is a pretty simple wipe stain. Now normally I would leave this just 5 minutes, but this is just a little shot.
Okay, yeah.
So
And that's not your custom mix, that's just the
this
Java.
is just what they call Java. And
Okay.
again, you'll see, like, for some reason without the water popping, it takes very different.
Yeah, it
Should
is
be able to see that.
a little spotty, but
Yeah.
okay, we get that idea.
But that's kind of there. And then I don't know about this one. I'd be very curious. In my 2 cents worth, I think this is going to go really dark.
Okay, well,
I could be wrong.
we're about to find out.
Or it might be okay.
Actually, yeah. It's going on a little more even, it looks like.
Yeah.
But actually, I think it's pretty similar. No, I think
terrible.
that's okay.
Yeah, not terrible at all.
Okay.
And again, if you add into it the factor of I can water pop everything, you're going to have a couple little dark spots here or there, but yeah, I think we could do that.
So we
easily.
should be okay.
Yep.
All right. Drew Pat has joined us since, and looks like we're good for even though it might be a different type of wood, I think it's going to go
Go fine.
nicely. So we're all set.
It's good to have you here and make this decision with Ian here and decide on the stage.
Yeah, no, I'm happy, and I know Melissa's gonna be happy to get the stain and the finish just right. She said if I would have come in and saw that we had a light gray banister, she said I don't know what I would have done. So thank you for being so patient while we go through that process and getting the railing done. So I guess what's the time frame like for this being wrapped up? Do you think?
I don't know. We haven't really talked about it. I mean, sometime next week.
Okay.
Hopefully it should be. Part of the problem is once I get all the rails done and everything that's stained, then I like to let that sit at least a couple days before I start taping in and papering it, so I don't damage the.
Yeah, you don't
brand new
peel
finish.
anything
Yeah,
or-
you don't want to tape it. I've seen guys tape it like next day, get all the rails done, all the spindles done, and then start peeling the tape, and the finish starts peeling off, and they've just.
And it is very tough to once you get stain mixed into your white paint to try and cover that over and over again.
Definitely.
So okay, so we'll be patient, and but we'll probably start to see some stain go on the railings. What, later today, you think?
Yeah, I'd say that's a possibility late today. But,
Okay.
I'm hoping to get onto that today. And then in theory, if it all went well, I don't know how my time is. I mean, possibly sometime tomorrow I'd put the first thin coat of finish on it.
Well, wonderful. I'm excited to see the results, and thank you so much for coming out this morning to show me the stain samples and making sure that's all good.
No trouble. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Well, he works away on the railing. Drew Pat and I are stepping into the garage because the first coat of paint has gone on, and Drew Pat, it's agreeable gray, and it's agreeable to me.
That is awesome.
It's not pink.
Agreeable to everybody.
It's not pink. Oh, thank the stars in heavens above. It's not pink. I tell you, when I walked out here and I thought, I'm going to be in a pink garage, I was not happy, but you know what? This looks nice. And you know, it's not as gray.
Right.
When it's on the walls, it's actually not as dark as it looks.
It's not as dark as that one sample we did on the walls. I think it's looking really nice.
It was a trick of the eyes, because when you look at it in this light, it's scarcely, I mean, it definitely has sort of a gray tone, but it's not, it does reflect the light nicely. It's nice and bright in here still, and it's a very classy sort of color. So I think it's fantastic. Well, this is a great way for me to end my day walking through here with you today. It looks fantastic.
That's awesome. That's always good to hear.
Are they coming back to work like in the basement or anything? Or are they pretty much staying away?
No, I think we're going to wait until the staining guy's finished. We want to give him all the space he needs, you know, make sure he gets his work done before the painters get in the house.
Yeah, because you wouldn't want them to be like up and down the stairs and having to move out of the way.
Exactly. We want the stain guy to finish and then give him an opportunity to cover the railing up fully, so my painters cannot, you know, spray their paint on it at all and damage it. So we want to make sure we take good care with the stain. It's your highlight feature in the house.
Yes, no, absolutely. Well, it looks fantastic, Drupad. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Before I end this vlog, there was one person's opinion who actually mattered the most, and that's Melissa's.
Hello, everyone.
So we've got to show you the paint, the plan for the stairs, and all that good stuff. So let's go inside and we'll get the official Melissa opinion.
I'm excited to see.
And I'm excited for you to see too. Hey, they threw our wheelbarrow out.
Did they actually?
They did. They're probably doing yard cleanup. But that's my wheelbarrow in there. Okay, they probably, I'll assume that they thought, I mean, I know it's not the world's best wheelbarrow, but heck, pulling that out of the dumpster, yikes. Okay, ready? We have to go hide our stuff. Well, I'm glad they're cleaning up, but I still want my ratty old wheelbarrow. We're using it for moving wood around in the back. Okay, let's go in.
Careful of the glass. Oh no.
Is the door open?
No.
I'll fix that.
He's not done the stain yesterday.
Okay. Well, it looks like he started staining some of the railings.
That looks better than before.
I can see why the painters weren't here, because it looks like when you give your kid a chocolate sundae and then they go upstairs and they leave schmeary marks everywhere. Thanks, that was good. Get back here and wash your hands, and they leave like gloopy marks. Okay, so it looks like the first coat, I'm not going to touch it obviously because it's drying, but he did do the newel post, and the stain looks like it's a perfect match, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Like it looks like the wood absorbed equally into the newel posts as well as into the railings. This side they didn't do because Drupad was trying to find a way to make it straight across. Now the problem is, the reason why it's like this, and some of you said, it doesn't bother Melissa and I, just so you know.
It looks weirder on the video than in real life. Like that actually is so gradual like that. It won't bother me at all. Like I actually don't mind it at all.
But the reason it's like that is because we have this sort of step up right there, and the railing has to be at a certain height, otherwise it will not pass code. So either we do an angle like that, or you'd have to bring this newel post way up tall and bring it straight across, and that would look funny. So we're gonna leave it just the way it is. He'll have to come back and do the stain on the remainder.
So we are leaving it like this?
We are, yeah. He said they couldn't do it straight across because it would look weird if they raise it up, or anyway, it has to pass code. And right now it does. And frankly, I don't mind the fact how he has it right now. I'm not gonna touch it, but the railing comes up, and as you walk up the steps, it gradually inclines and then does a little bit of a bump up, and it meets nicely. So your hand can glide along the top all the way up and not have to worry about letting go and moving. Not that that's a big deal. If I was a kid, I'd be using this as my little Hot Wheel track. Maybe as an adult. Meow. Some Dukes of Hazzard jumps in the way there. But that's not why I brought you here.
Oh.
Part of it's why I brought you here. I got to show you what the color looks like in the garage and see what you think. Because they painted the garage. So let's go to the garage.
Okay.
Off to the garage we go.
Her big winter boots.
Unlock the door. Well, you got winter boots. Oh, I guess I just have my Timberlakes on. My Timberlakes. I stand corrected. I'm not wearing my Timberlakes. I'm wearing my Timberlands. Maybe he has a new job making shoes. Who knows? But let's have a look inside the garage. Okay, so now that you are immersed in the color agreeable gray, what do you think?
It's much lighter than I thought it was. Like this doesn't look like the same as the sample. It looks good.
But it's not quite a white and it's not quite a gray.
I'm glad that it's, I don't want to say it's more of a bluey gray. I was a little worried that it was just going to look like cement, but I feel like it's a cooler gray than the sample. I like it. I think it looks fine.
You think it looks fine? Okay. Because this is what our whole house is going to be. There's no going back now.
You know, I feel like maybe we should pick pink.
She's kidding, folks. We're not kidding. If you wanted pink badly enough, we can paint just your side of the room pink. Just your side.
You would still have to look at it.
That's true. But I think things are coming along. What do you think?
Yeah, it looks really good. I'm glad I got a chance to see how far it's been.
Yeah, so stay tuned for next episode when hopefully the railing is finished. The interior of the house starts to see more paint, and very soon, within the next week or so, the cabinets are coming.
Woohoo!
And after the cabinets come in, then the floor starts to go in. Everything is all rolling together. So lots more updates to come. Thank you very much for watching today, guys, and we'll see you all soon. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.